Oh dear, so let's try it again. Thank you and welcome to PLO night. Sorry for being late and sorry for being on mute. I didn't see that I have accidentally put mute on my microphone. That's why you didn't hear anything. I hope you hear it now. At least it should be working. Today we're going to play PLO 10, and as I just showed you while being muted, that there's like 30 tables or more open in PLO 10, and I don't know where the regulars are, but I don't know. It's so strange. Like, I have to check that. Do I have my filters on? It's PLO 10, pot limit, yes, everything seems to be in order. But for some reason, no regulars. Maybe they are grinding 7 stud for the new campaign or something. We're going to play PLO 10, and as always, we have a few minute delay for security reasons. So, Darkens is a regular. So there's one. Yes, there is sound. It will come, just wait. Of course, when you see and hear this, you already know it. So when you comment about the hands, and please do comment about the hands, about the play, about anything that comes to your mind, feel free to comment. But when you do, say the table number 1, 2 on the top, 3, 4 on the bottom, say the table number and what was my hand. So then I can open the replayer and find the hand so we can discuss about it. And that's pretty much the best value in this coaching, that you can ask questions. Because if this was a video of me playing and you watch it, there's no way you can ask any questions if something funny happens on the tables or something you don't understand. But now you have the possibility to make those questions and talk with me and talk with other followers and watchers about the situation. So that's when you actually learn a lot more. So please open your mouth. And then I need to put my HUD on, and then we wait until something happens. Table 3, he aims or completes definitely pot because our hand is quite nice, and then we flop the world, so to speak. Top pair, high flush draw, not cut shot, everything. And with king high flush, it's always bet for value. I'm going to open a few tables to the other screen. So when something happens there, I can show it to you and we have more action. And 1 and 2 we open from the bottom with mediocre hands. And on this board we make c-bet, and I think this c-bet is profitable. Of course, if he calls, then we have some backdoors. Now with the flush complete, when he calls the flop, he has a lot of other hands than draw into a flush. But now when he check min raises, it really looks like he has the nut flush. This is probably never a bluff. So now we just fold. But yeah, he had a jack high flush, so it was definitely not a bluff for him. But I'm going to mark him as a good customer, because when he check min raises jack high flush, it tells me that he's not a great player. Table 3, we had a 3-bet. Pretty marginal call, but we have SP around 4, and I don't think he's ever going to fold aces here. of course we don't flop anything but the queen. If I didn't have the pocket sixes, then I would call here. But when I have pocket sixes, I'm going to fold. Table 4, I'm going to make a small raise because he's sort of aggressive and he should miss this board often enough to fold. But now when he calls, he might have a draw, he might have overpair, he might have trips. Whatever he has, he's probably not going to fold in on the turn. So I'm not barreling versus unknowns. I stick to my belief that the flop raise is profitable, but when he calls, we didn't realize our equity. And now he checks the river. The thing is that I just can't represent almost anything, so I'm just going to check it. And wow. Wow, I win the pot with jack high. So he had a draw. Well, he has a big draw, man. I'm thinking that he's going to be a good customer with those stats. And if he's such an aggressive that if he raises, I'm going to stack off with my top pair. He shouldn't hit this board so often. And now I'm just going to stack off. I pick up the flush draw. If he has a jack then he has the jack then. Then I have to stack out, but he has a lot more. And of course now when he thinks, it makes me believe that I'm always ahead of him. And he calls and wow. I'm going to check call instead of bet, because if I bet he's going to fold, but if I check call he might make a really desperate bluff. I can't see a hand that I can get value from, maybe pocket kings with clubs or something. And he had queens jack then. And he turned it to a bluff on the river, so not sure if he would have folded pocket queens there on the river. Probably not. But if he has something like, well, I had an ace of clubs, but he might have king queen 7-6 or something really strange with the flush draw, that he's just going like he has a king high or even weaker hand. And he might just make a desperate bluff. This bet on the river is really desperate bluff. It's not a value bet. Table 1 we have the 13 outer wrap. And 2 backdoor flush draws, we don't hit anything. So now the question is 13 out enough to stack off here? And 13 out is around 30% equity. No less. And we don't need that much. If he pots, we need 33. When it's clearly almost $2 under the pot, it's easy call. And we had only 17%, which is not so good when he has a set and flush draw. So he has a lot of our outs dominated. But we have to play against range. Here I'm not bluffing him. Now we have history of 2 hands. So I think he's going to call me really light. He would have called me with pocket kings for sure when he played it in that way. And then we flop the flush versus him. It's 4 high flush. So it's the smallest. He cannot have a smaller flush. So I'm going to slow play it. It's really hard to get value from him. If I bet. So if he checks the turn, I'm going to bet it. And then bet the river. On table 3 he calls the flop. I'm going to fold. He has the flush quite often there. On the outside table, I 3-bet him, and on the flop he check raises, and he always has some kind of straw that he's. Of course now he has the ace of hearts, which is good for him, but I cannot fold because his range is so weak. He's a regular. I know that he knows that, or he knows that I 3-bet a lot of junk, so to speak, a lot more than aces. So you can definitely attack this board with these kind of hands, and I cannot fold my 40% equity. And we split one pot, and he makes the flush on the other one. On table 2 I donk versus this Pimpy. He shouldn't have hit this board really hard often, and he folds 77% to c-bet, so although he's a green, he doesn't like to continue without a hand. And here he has a lot of draws, so I'm going to barrel the turn. And now, against regulars I would bet slightly less, but versus these green players, or worse players so to speak, I bet slightly bigger to make them more scared, because they don't really think about my range so to speak. If they have to pay here 70 cents on the turn, they don't call with the draw. If I bet 30 cents, they might call with the flush draw because it's so cheap. So it's kind of playing against the opponent. Table 1 we have double paired hand. Table 4 half a pot c-bet. It's normal. He calls, and turn is interesting. It completes the straight, but it gives us set. So I'm going to check and probably never fold in here, and he pots. Now the first question is he good enough to fold me on the flop? And might be. Second question is that if he has a flush, does he give us value? And we need over or like half a pot as value. I think he will. But we don't hit the flush, but kind of interesting spot. Not sure if he would bet his blocker on the river. If he has a straight, he's going to check back, and he bets 250. We don't have a lot of hands, and he has 3-bet king 6 5 5. So, and he has 3-bet ace 9 9. So he definitely is capable of bluffing Why does he think so long on the river? So strange. I'm going to call 6-4, 6 high flush, and wow, bets for value on the river. There was something fishy on the way he played it. I can't explain why, but it did look so strange. But it was a 6 high flush that he value betted. That's strange. Here, table 1, we can 3-bet and cold call. Oh, he didn't call. Wow. So now I bet the turn, and then I shove the river. I don't think he's folding aces ever. When he calls the turn, if he has aces, he has to call the river. Because the river helps more him than it helps me. And if you're watching this on Twitch, feel free to use the chat. We have the Twitch chat open too. Here in table 3, Darken's donks, and his donk bet is 18, which means that only 3 hands, but we have overpair and open ender. I'm going to call that 1 donk, and now he checks. If he bets the river, it's awkward because we can't beat anything from his value range, and he shouldn't bluff the river that often. And he had a quads, makes sense. Outside table, we open, we can 3-bet from here, and we flop top 2, so we are stacking off on the flop. But he doesn't see, but wow, strange. And on the turn, it's not the greatest one, but it gives us a cut shot and flush draw, and we have SPR less than 1, so I'm definitely stacking off here. And if he has ace king, then fuck me. And he has, and even with the flush draw, wow. I mean, wow. He picks up a wrap and overpair and 2 backdoor flush draws, and he doesn't stack off on the flop. He doesn't. Yeah, well, of course, even if he shoves the flop, the outcome is the same. Here, oh, we make the straight, but it completes king, queen, and the flush. I'm going to check back. Now there's all-in shootout. I'm going to open it here, so probably PokerStars is going to be pretty lucky for a few minutes. And we are just waiting for something to happen. I'm going to open it here. Table 1 against green players, top pair. Definitely worth of betting. And he min raises, wow. If he min raises 2 pairs, then we have a lot of outs, but he might have a set, probably not. I'm going to call. Then I make top 2. And it's just, oh, on the river I make the nuts. I'm going to check, because if he has king 5, king 6, I want him to stack off, or if he has pocket 5, pocket 6s. So I'm just going to put it. and he calls. Here we make the flush. We'll value bet it. Here we flop the nuts. And here we have a set and flush draw. I'm going to step off versus shorty. Oh, a lot of going on. And we can value. There we want the pot. Here he had pocket fives, yeah. So a lot of going on, and we win every pot. Here on the outside table, we open, and now someone donks. I'm going to call because I want this guy to come along. Here I raise against darkness when we have the nuts, and now I'm just going to put it. Six is kind of bad because if he has 7, 9, but if he has 2 pairs, can he fold them? Not sure. I can beat the flush draw. Oh. Yeah, he had 2 pairs. Not sure if he folds 2 pairs. If he is good enough to fold 2 pairs, so to speak. Kind of interesting to know. And these new all-in shootouts, like you have to win millions of them. Oh, he makes runner on the flush. Oh, if I had won this one, I would have got into the money, probably. Damn. A lot of green plays. What has happened with poker stars? Because I remember like last week or the week before that, their games were pretty bad overall. But now something has happened, and like today, this is like an tripping through. He calls flop, he calls turn. River is a king, so I'm going to try to steal the pot and make him fold some queen jack, and he's scared of king maybe, or some draws. I have only ace high. We didn't hit our grab, so ace high doesn't often win the pot, but when we bet, he folds some weakish hands. Table 3. Open-ender, but paired board, definitely c-bet. And he folds, which is great. We won the pot with king high. That's why you have to c-bet those paired and monotone flops. Especially paired boards. It's so profitable to c-bet them. And now this guy 3-bets us. We know something about his 3-bet range. But he has ace in pretty much almost all of them, and we have ace in our hand and pocket tens. I'm going to fold. Because often if the ace comes on the flop, we are behind, and pocket tens really hurts. This Frau Hastal, whatever her name is sitting on every table on our right. Wow. Well, it suits me. Should be pretty profitable for us. Table 2, paired board, c-bet, and oh, he calls. So he's range, and he bets the turn. This might be pocket kings with clubs. It's just a strange way to play anything. I'm going to fold. If he makes that often, then we can definitely see his pattern and just print money out of him. And we are 150 BBs deep with this hostile. I'm going to call with my double-suited queens because I think raising 3-betting makes it quite tricky to play post-flop unless we hit something like this one. Wow. King is kind of scary, but we block the queen, so king 6 is pretty much the only hand we are afraid of here. I'm on the outside table. I'm going to show you one hand. And on the earlier hand, the flop was some kind of king high. And on the turn, we see that he calls turn was ace. We barreled the turn, he check raised. And we shot, we had top 2 with flush draw. And he stacked off with pair ace king. And now on this hand, I opened his calls on the flop. We have trips. Did he donk? Yes. I'm going to explain it in a second. And on the outside table we use one stack. We get most of the money in with a flop not straight. Opponent has bottom set and board pairs on the turn, and we have only a few cents behind. So doesn't show in EV line, but we made the correct decisions. Here he donks. I don't want to raise him. He's kind of crazy. So I call on the turn. He checks, we bet, he calls, and on the river it completes straight and it completes flush. And he bets, so yeah, he might some kind of flush, but not sure why would he bet flush when the board pairs and we have bet the turn. So definitely call, and he has just 4, 5, 9, 9. I just don't understand why he donks the flop. Maybe he attacks when it's paired board. Yes, you can attack it with donking, but the problem is that you wouldn't probably donk if you have a made hand. On the outside hand we have 3-bet from this fishy, and we flop pair and wrap, and if he has pair aces we are actually slightly ahead of him. And if we call the turn, he would have only $5 behind. He's not going to fold it, so I just stack off here. And he has aces with the flush draw. So we were not really much ahead. We had 40% on the flop, but we hit it this time. Table 3, we flopped the nuts with the flush draw. And river completes higher straight, it completes backdoor flush, it completes everything. It's hard to get value. So this is pretty easy check back. And he has ace queen. Oh, called with the cut shot. Now that's dedication. I'm going to give him green. So much green today. It's like Christmas. Oh, and we flopped the nuts on table 2. You never get bored to say the saying we flopped the nuts. It's so nice. On the turn we have the nuts and they both call. Nice. Probably they have flush draw, at least one of them. So if the river is a spade, it isn't. We still have the nut. So I'm just going to put it in case he has a smaller straight. If he doesn't have the straight, he's going to fold it anyway. Stream is working perfectly here, but if the stream is buggy and lucky, always remember to open the pop-up version. So open the pop-out or pop-up, whatever the name is, and close the original stream. It works a lot better that way. For some reason. Can't remember what it was. Animetsa knows it. I don't. 2 pairs and open ender against 59-0. I bet for value. And turn completes a flush. We block so many cards that might be drawing something else than the flush. And he had same hand, Jack. Wow, chasing a full house. Okay, if anyone else has problems, then let me know. Not much I can do. I'm not sure about the quality. I hope it's good. Table 4 we are double cut shot, but when he checks, I'm just always betting these. Unless I have a reason to believe that he's trying to check raise, because often when people open from the small blind and they check the flop, they don't have anything that strong. Most of the time they have some kind of weak hand that we should be able to barrel. And when the turn is blank, we should have a lot of folding equity, unless he's a really stubborn calling station. And river is a good card to bet. Not sure what we can beat. We have pocket tens. I don't think he ever has an overpair, or if he does, he's not going to fold it. If he has ace jack, then it sucks. We might have folding equity versus that. And he has queen jack. 9 then. Wow. Holy crap. He has top 2 and open ender, and he check calls. Wow, he is a nitty one. Table 1, we hit 3-bet. I'm going to call in position. So much we can hit. But now we missed the board and he checks. Wow. I'm going to check back. And when he doesn't bet, then he might have aces, but even if he has bare aces, he might fold it when he plays it that way. Table 3, we flop the nuts. He doesn't see bet on the turn. We have to start betting and he raises. So now, again, we have a 9 out. So the question is, if we call 172, we have to win like $7. So it's half a pot if we make something. And sometimes we actually have the best hand. I'm going to call. And one option is to turn our hand into a bluff. But if this was 4 of diamonds, I think it would be better to bet, because then it's quite probable that we have the hard draw. But now when there's 2 flush draws on the turn, he might think that, okay, we have the flush draw, half of the time it's hearts. So we might be bluffing, so he probably doesn't fold his straight here. Yeah. But he doesn't see bet it on the river either. Bit of unlucky for him checking back open-ender and hit it. But I think you can argue about should we even call the turn, because it's quite obvious that he has the straight. He wouldn't play any worse hand in that way. But not sure when there's 2 flush draws, he's probably not going to fold on the river if we bet slightly over half a pot. And table 4, I was about to say that if either one of them raises, I'm going to fold. Yes, we have the top pair, but, well, it's unknown, and he shoves. We are over 100 pp's deep, and he shoves before this guy has a chance to act, so he should have 2 pairs or set almost always. So I'm just going to fold. I'm not doing great against his range. On the outside there was strange hand. On table 4 we are quite deep, so I'm going to call, and now we hit the jackpot. Now the question is how to get best value. Oh, he's disconnected. Here someone 3-bet pre-flop, probably was him or him. Someone 3-bet, can't even see who, but basically his flop is dry and it goes check, 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 check to the river, and then he bets $1 in the pot of 4.8. I'm going to call and hope the turn isn't an ace. So now we can probably shove turn and get value from Queen Jack. Let's see what happens. Oh, he thinks out here fold. Well, he bets $1 in the pot of 4.8, so I'm going to call with my pocket jacks. And it was a bluff. I think if he wants to bluff, then bet slightly bigger, because if he bets like half a pot, I would fold my jacks. But when he bets such a small bet, it's rarely anything super strong. It might be some kind of 4 that picks up the trips, but that bet sizing is so strange. Here he bets, so I'm definitely going to take a call down. The river, if he min bets or bets 20 cents, I'm going to call. And he pots. Ooh. and 40 cents. Oh, it's such a big bet sizing that I'm going to fold. Probably had a jack because he had to think for so long. Table 2, we have the overpair. I'm going to call those mean bets. Oh, now we have dropped frames, so something funny has happened with our stream at some point. Not sure if it's my computer that is dying. Trying to close as many applications as possible. And he, oh dear. Number 2, he bets turn small. River, he represents full house, but his bet size on the flop and turn doesn't back up his story. And it's a great card to bluff because all the draws missed. So when it doesn't make sense, I'm going to call. Let's see what he has this time. And he has nothing. So the key here is that remember that always when you're bluffing, you're trying to tell a story and his story doesn't make sense. Table 3, he raises us, so definitely fold. And we can 3-bet, we call, and we miss. So always, when you're telling a story and it doesn't make sense, people are going to bluff catch you. And ace is on every table. I'm here. Board is pretty bad and someone donks for a pot, so it's time to fold. Here we can shove aces, nice. He calls. I'm going to pot it because he shouldn't have aces ever. So we have a lot of folding equity versus him, and versus him we are in good shape. Here we got aces versus kings, nice. And let's see if it holds up. It does. So those one worked perfectly. Here we have a green one. Let's see, what do we have on table 4? This lightman is sort of green. Don't really much. 43% so far. And here on table 3 we pick up the flush draw and the cut shot. So definitely on the flop we have the equity call. When this guy calls, he has some of our outs for most likely. And to call here, if all of our outs are alive, we can call. But if he's drawing the bigger flush, then we probably cannot call. And we have only $3 behind, and we don't have implied, so I'm going to fold. Table 1, we can 3-bet. We call, we flop a pair, we get a free turn. And he pots. Now that's a strange one. I'm just going to fold. Table 3, he bets the flop, but we have 2 pairs, so I'm just going to raise. Get some extra value from some ace hands and make him fold the rest. Table 2, we don't have anyone green, so I'm just sitting out. I think the ephedrine is sort of regularish guy. I'm going to open this one here. Bada bing, bada boom. On the outside table, we have called from the button and we flopped the rundown or wrap with our rundown. On table 3, we flopped 13 out of wrap, and table 2, we flop almost the nuts. I think I'm going to check here because it's hard to get value. Darkness is probably not doing anything stupid, but this guy might. So I'm going to make a call down, depending on what they do. If he bets big and Darkness calls, then I'm going to fold. But he can have almost anything. Means that if he calls, it's really hard to beat him. I'm actually going to fold. Because his calls are... Would he make that with jacks? Oh, he has pocket nines. Dope. I thought he was better, but he's not. Oh dear. And he's making a lot of money. Well, gave too much credit for a bad player. Let's see if I can open some new tables. Let's open one more here. Anthony is green on table 3. Now we just wait. Relax and wait. About the summer, not sure what we're going to do with our PLO nights on June, but in July I'm probably going to have a vacation. So from the end of June until start of August, we are probably not going to have our weekly PLO nights. We might have some special nights, not sure yet. If you have any ideas, feel free to propose them. We might have MTT nights or some public private coachings if someone likes to have those or something like that. But on July I am not going to host weekly PLO nights because I want to enjoy the summer. Double-suited kings on table 4 and button fold, so now it's just money making time. And ace is on table 1. Nice, and we have a shorty, which is great because now he has one, so we can raise to $1. So I raised to $1, which is 70 cents. And if he raises over me, it should open another betting round. And if he calls his raise, I can stack off versus him pre-flop. And if I bet 120, now I could only call. But when I bet $1, now I can shove. And the difference is huge. Oh, he folds. Yeah, too bad. He's run down. That's actually a premium ace cracking hand. Almost 50-50. 46 pre-flop. And he just wins both of them. But he's shorty, we can earn money back. Table 2, we have the open-ender and backdoor flush draw. And pot is quite small, we are quite deep. I'm going to call here on. I was hoping that he would call too. And when he barrels the turn, I'm just going to fold. Of course, he probably barrels with his almost whole range, but let's keep it simple. Table 3, I'm going to bet. See, bet the flop for half a pot. But they both call, which is not so nice. And turn complete some of the draws, so I'm just going to give up. Here the lightman keeps donking, 3 out of 8 so far, but one hand it's 4 out of 9 actually. It just hasn't refreshed. Nothing going on at the moment. As nothing is going on. If you have any questions or topics in your mind that we can talk about, just use the chat. Feel free to speak up. Or if you have anything to say, hasn't or doesn't even have to be related to poker, just make some noise in the chat. Table 4, someone opens up. I'm not a fan of 3-betting pocket queens because they have pretty much almost the same visibility as aces, but the strength of the hand is not even near. So I think it plays better by just calling and playing post flop in position. And here we pick up the flush draw and all kind of backdoor stuff. Table 3, we flop the cut shot and the nut flush draw. But no one bet the flop, so I'm going to bet the turn for protection. And isn't that nasty river? Oh, nice turn on table 4. What? Oh, he had a 9. Oh dear. He bought turn. I'm just going to shove. If he has air, we don't get any value, and if he has a draw or some kind of made hand, we do get value. And if he has pocket kings, then we still have the flush draw and 1 queen. So we often have even 10 outs. And he pots and folds. Wow. One option is to call, but the problem is that if he has a king queen, there are so many turns that just kill the action. Any card from 9 to ace completes a straight. If it comes spade, it's pretty obvious that I have a spade, or it's hard to make value, and I cannot value bet the queen high flush myself. So if I just call, I have to check back so many rivers or bluff catch. I can only value bet pair in rivers, and if he has a hand that calls pair in river, he has a hand that might stack off on the turn anyway. On the outside table, I tried to use a blocker bluff here, but he has a jack high flush that he just doesn't want to fold. So once, okay, good reminder, just don't use blocker bluff. I was hoping that when I shove the river with raise, he might fold his smaller flush, but he doesn't. So that was a wasted $4 for me. Should not have done it. Overpair and top pair on table 4 is scary board, but it's scary for our opponents. And it's kind of hard to make moves on that kind of board, because I might have 6-8 and I might have some kind of jack 10-8 for the wrap or 2 pair sets that I'm not just not going to fold. So people rarely make moves with air on these kind of boards. and then just waiting for things to happen. I'm hoping to get a pot with this Lightman, because he's really aggressive. He donks a lot and he barrels a lot. So I'm just hoping to catch something and let him hang himself. He's on one of the other tables with me, but we haven't had that many pots together. Oh, he had a set and cut shot, and he just calls flop, calls turn, and checks the river. Wow. Sometimes you just can't beat the VPIP56 guy, winning every pot against me. He's the one that I tried to use the blocker bluff, and now he slow plays his set when I have top 2. And now we have the pot versus Lightman. He donks once again. I might raise, but it's obvious because I haven't raised him ever. So if I raise, it's obvious I have a made hand. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just probably make a call down. Of course, the turn is the worst card in the deck, but he gives great price and the river doesn't bear. So if he barrels the river, it's really awkward. But when he thinks for so long and he pots the river, no, he doesn't pot. Why? Is he blocker bluffing? Who knows? No, he had the nuts. So, yeah. That's what happens. We finally have a hand that we have waited for, and he just wins the board one. Even if we shove the flop, he's going to get it in. And here he sees, do we have 14 equity versus aces? Not sure. We might have. If we have, oh, he doesn't have aces. When he doesn't, oh, he did 3-bet. Yeah, he might have aces, but. And we didn't have. If we had any 14 equity versus aces, it's quite good for us. We had 27 on the flop, and when we stack off there, that's pretty much what we need. So if he folds anything, it becomes plus EV for us. And this guy was eating some of our outs, so versus this hand we have around 40%, which is enough to stack off. And now we wait again to have a hand. Oh, someone woke up in the Twitch chat. Mr. Dog sent an image of a dog to the chat. Welcome. Feel free to form words and sentences. Oh, here's a green one. VPIP 46 is a green one for me. Number 4 I'm going to call decentish hand, and we flop the bottom wrap. A lot of problems, and he pots. So when he pots, I don't think he has the king queen ever. So I'm going to call once, and he's probably going to barrel on the turn because it's in his habit. No, he doesn't. But when I check call and check the turn, I don't think he's ever folding any 2 pairs. So I shouldn't have any draws in my range. So yeah, good thing that I thought for a bit longer. Because I cannot have any draws in my range. Of course 8-9 is the only one, but I don't think he believes in that one. So when the board is rainbow and the turn is a rainbow, I might have king queen. Or if I bet it's always for value, I shouldn't have any bluffs in my range here on the river. Of course now I do have, but I shouldn't have in his eyes. So if he has like ace 10 or jack 10 or even ace king, he should just fold it because there's nothing he can beat. Table 3, if we got a lot of calls here, I will call with my pocket queens for set value. But when no one calls, I'm just going to fold. And table 4 has died. We play one hand heads up. I think he's going to 3-bet. When he calls, ace high board is really good to see bet. Unless he donks. And we have the nut cut shot if he decides to make a call with weak ace or king. To open a new table. Let's put this one, it's brand new. And where's the, here is a green one. And now we wait. Table 3 we have cut shot and middle pair, but on this board probably nothing on the turn. On the other hand, we have pretty much the best hand always. So we value bet it, And we'll see what happens on the river. It completes the flush. No one is going to fold the flush, but no one is going to value bet probably anything. And when he pots, now that's a strange one. But when he pots, it's because he thinks he has the best hand, so I'm going to fold my trips. Of course, the problem is that he might be betting some kind of 4, but when he pots, he should have full house often. Number 1, we might set mine here on the button. It's pocket tens will face often higher set, so it's not as good as queens or jacks. It's often, if you set mine with those small pocket pairs, you will find in PLO that you run into higher set quite often. Oh, nice flop here, and let's hope this guy does something stupid. Well, I'm going to definitely bet, and now he raises, and we are so deep. And we have some not outs. Let's call. He has 9-8 or nothing because he doesn't think, and we block one of the 9s. And he has done some crazy stuff, but it's so big. I'm going to call. Pocket. Oh dear. Wow. He calls the flop with nothing and picks up the small full house and just pots turn, pots river. Well, it didn't make sense, but he played this in the same way as nuts. Now that sucks. But basically his hand strength is pretty much the same as with 9-5 or something. He can only get caught by trips. Wow, he played it bad, but he won 300 PP pot. That sucks. That officially sucks. And here we have a nut flush draw and cut shot. And here he folds 50%. I'm gonna half a pot C bet and make him fold just air. We have the cut shot to back up. And we pick up another cut shot. So yes, we can barrel the third. Oh, he dodged for half a pot. What the hell is wrong with these people? And I'm going to barrel the river. He should be folding a lot of his weak hand and draws. And we almost make a straight here, but we don't. And table 1 died. I'm going to call instead of 3-bet because I want this guy to come along. But we flop nothing, so end of story. In the outside table we barreled this ephedrine 10 regular on paired board. And here he don't have to fold. And here on the last hand, oh, we have a light man on this table too. Here I open, he calls, and he check raises the flop when I see bet, so I'm just going to fold aces. We are crushed by his range. And he's a greenie. And we have 5 tables open, so I'm going to find some more. There's 1 and there's 2. So now we have the lucky 7 open. Oh, I'm going to pot the turn because he shouldn't have ace in his hand when he doesn't see bet the flop. Oh, he does. Oh, what a jackass. So he didn't see bet the ace on ace high. That's really strange. I'm going to make a note of that. So that's strange. He 3-bets and doesn't see bet ace high flop. Of course, he can get more value, but when there's flush draw, which he doesn't have the straight draws, he should bet it for protection. That is just a strange way of playing aces. And then calls on the turn when all he can beat is bluff, and even my bluffs have 0 out of equity versus him, so that's a really bad way of playing that hand, in my opinion. Here we have aces on table 3 once again. And I'm going to see bet because we have this green player on the pot. He might call me with all kind of hands. And on the turn we pick up the flush draw. I'm going to barrel. And 9 sucks. And he has just ace queen. Well, never fold a cut shot. Before we have the trips, let's hope the aggressive guy does something funny. And he just folds. Well, now table 4 has died. We have only a nit. And we have this aggressive guy. And here on the turn we pick up the set with our double cut shot. Not sure how to get the best value. When he bets big, he really represents queen jack. I'm going to call. And if he bets the river, I have to call because on the turn I cap my range. And he has 2% flush draw. Well, nice thing that we didn't hit any of our outs on the river because he would have been beat. Aces, yay! Icroman hasn't 3-bet much, so that's really much like aces, and in aces we can definitely call, and we can flop the trips. Now we can see if we can stack him off. And I'm just going to get it in. If he has aces with flush draw, he's going to stack off, and I have no idea how he plays his aces. But if he doesn't stack on the flop, he's probably not going to keep a lot of action later. But often these people, like, he has played 500 hands and he has 3-bet 7 times out of 500 hands. So when he 3-bets just aces and he waits for the whole day, I'm not sure if he can fold them. On the outside table we flop the set. And then we bet big on the turn. Oh, he just folds. It's a great spot to get a really nasty river decision, but we are in position, so it's kind of easy. And on the table 4, like, yeah, well, when we don't have a hand, it's nice that people don't attack this board, but if he opens from under the gun, on this board he has to c-bet, because I'm going to fold a ton of hands. But instead of c-betting and winning most of the flops, he just checks and gives up on the turn. So that's really exploitable. I'm actually going to make a note out of that. Just make a note that when he checks that flop, he folds the turn, so when that thing happens, even if I have air, I'm just going to attack every time on the turn. He's so aggressive that I'm going to check back my cut shot and stuff. But now if he bets, I'm definitely not going to fold. And on the river, I'm not going to fold. And if he checks, I'm going to bet here. This guy, he raises a lot. Oh, 1 out of 2 times. But he raises against 2 people. I'm just going to fold. Oh, he had some kind of combo shit. And delayed c-bet on table 3. An interesting hand on outside table, I'm going to open it. And top set on table 1. When he just calls, I'm going to value bet the turn. And he probably has king, queen, smaller set, yes. And here, bada bing, bada boom. It's an imp spot, and we flop. Oh, For some reason I thought we have the flush draw. Oh dear, now this looks fishy. Sorry. I really thought I have a king of spades in my hand. That's why I bet the flop. I thought that I have a double cut shot and the flush draw. And the turn, I bet, and he raises me on the turn. So it looks a lot like he's going to have a straight. So that's why I call, and of course I make the nuts on the river. Table 1, we flop the nuts, I'm going to shove. And we get the stacking versus flush draw, yes, and double cut shot. And he wins the pot. That sucks. 55 on the flop, doesn't hold. Here, on the turn when he bets, he represents a straight. So with the nuts, if I bet, he's just going to call me. Or if he has a missed flush draw, he's going to fold. So what I did, I check here. And of course, if he has some kind of 6-8, I think he needs to check back, because there's not much he can get value from. So I raise and he folds, so probably he had some kind of 2-pair that he wanted to bet on the river, or he has a misdraw with that we got value when we checked. Often, like here on the river, if we forget the turn, which was horrible for me, here when the river comes and we have a decision with the nuts to either bet ourselves or check raise, it's always important that you think, why would checking be better than betting? If we bet, what hands he will call us with, what hands he will fold. If we check, what hands he will check back, what hands he would bet, and then you think which part is bigger portion of his range. Like, does he have hands that bet more than the hands he is just going to check back? Table 1, we pick up the top 2 and open-ender, so just get it in, and we win the pot. Ooh, $1.8. So here, checking was better. On some other rivers or some different spots, betting is superior. But it's always important that you think about the open range and how to get the maximum value against that range. Table 4, we flop just a gut shot. But the board is scary, so I'm going to bet and hope he folds. He folds 75%, but he calls. When he calls the flop, he's going to call the turn often, because he's not afraid of straight. He wants to draw against that one. And he has just, wow. This is so strange, because he has these decent pre-flop stats. Pretty aggressive, but it seems like he's going to be a decent player. But on this flop, he check calls with just a 9. Probably, I don't even know. He has the ace of clubs, so I would understand if he bets the river and uses it as a blocker. But he doesn't. Here on table 4, I'm going to... Oh, I don't. I was about to raise him, but when he checks, I don't. And when we had runner flush, I'm going to bet, and he had weaker flush. What? Well, good thing that he's bad player, but why doesn't he see but the flop when he could win the pot? Of course, now when I raise, he doesn't, but against 95% of the opponents, when he c-bets the flop, he makes profit. When he checks back, he gives up and doesn't make any profit. Now I'm wondering, that, oh, table 1 is bad, table 2, 4 is bad. Every table is bad, except these two. I'm going to value bet the turn against flush draws. And if he raises, he has Jack 10 and we can happily fold. But he's VPRP 46, so he is good enough to be my friend. I'm going to stab the turn when no one bet the flop. He might have weak ace, but most of the time he just folds, which he did. Of course, if they were good players, they would realize that I often have a bluff there when I don't see bet the flop. Number 1, we don't hit much, but 6 of clubs gives a lot of backdoors, so if we can see the turn for free or with a really cheap price. Number 1, we have the blockers to straight, but when we don't bet the flop, we shouldn't have Jack 10 ever, so it's bad spot to represent anything. I don't know why. Is there some... No, it wasn't happy hour, but now on the lobby there's only like 20 tables. And 1.5 hours ago we had 30 or 40 tables open on PLO. So what... Can someone tell me what was going on there? Why there were so many tables open at that time? Because there aren't any campaigns that are related to PLO. And yeah, just a second ago I was thinking about, did we make a profit today? I have no idea. Probably not, because we lost the 300 PP pot. We have lost a couple of flips. Yes, we won few, but I have a feeling that we have lost more than one. And we lost quite many pots where quite many stacks where we got the money in effectively with the nuts and open call, but there were like $1 left behind on the turn. So probably it doesn't show in our EV, which is, of course, we cannot make as good bad beat stories as we could if they would have shoved their draw. That's important in poker. We don't care about winning or losing, we want to have good bad beat stories. And number 1, I'm going to barrel the turn. But he calls and the flush completes, so we have the top pair. But he has the flush so often. Oh, he doesn't have the trips. Yeah, that makes sense too. And we have few orbits left. Let's see if we can find something interesting. The other topic, I played some Limit 7 start yesterday and today because there's the campaign. And oh boy, I only played the smallest limit. I don't know, is it 4 1/8 cents or something like that. I played the smallest limit, but there's a ton of value. So if some of you are playing with really small bankroll, few dollars or $20, $30, $50. Just go to play 7 star. If you understand anything about stud, you should make a lot of money. Now when there's campaign, there's a ton of tables open, and there are a lot of opponents that actually, like, I don't know what, are they called face cards? The 4 that is shown. But yeah, I had a pocket 9s visible on my face cards, and I bet the river, and the opponent calls me with pocket 5s. Or pair of 5s, which was in his pocket. But the basic thing is that he cannot even beat what's visible. And he calls the river. They are so bad players. And the basic principle is that you don't have any folding equity ever. At any point. So never bluff. Bet with big draws, bet with made hands, and just make money. Here I am oh, he donks, I'm going to fold. Thought about betting the river, but he made it easier for me. Here we have the nut flush draw, and bottom pair we're going to call, and now we have 2 pairs. I'm going to check raise him. He should barrel this, it's a blank. And we had a lot of folding equity, and if he calls, we are even ahead. Number 4, we barrel the turn and win the pot. So yeah, some people, the only street where you have folding equity is the opening round. On table 2 we have the nuts versus this crazy guy. And he min raises. I'm going to min raise back. Of course, it pretty much opens my hand. Oh, just get it in. If he's free rolling, he is. Yeah, it's a split pot. I can't understand why he doesn't shove the turn when he can free roll me. Strange. Yeah, because people, if they call the first bet, they are always calling the 4th street, 5th street, 6th street, and on the 7th street, the pot is often so big, if hero has played bet, that they are calling with any hand. So it's pretty printable money. Every time when you have a huge hand, just bet. On the river, never bluff. Just value bet, unless you have a read that opponent is folding some rivers, or 7th street, what's the correct term. But it's a lot of value there. And when you are going to play Ras, the funny thing is that some of the opponents don't even know the rules. And if you understand Ras, you can just often see that opponent cannot have a better hand than you. And you can just make a lot of money there. Double-suited kings on table of 3. No action. And here I'm going to bet. We have nothing, but we have a nice folding equity. But when he calls, we are pretty much beat. And he has ace jack. Here's a neat. Well, at this table there are 3 nits and 1 regular, so not much value on the table. I'm not going to change it because we are going to end the session soon. Yeah, the flop percentage is 15 on this table, so it's even tighter than the average Zoom table. Here I'm going to call versus this calling station with open-ender ones. Nah, don't have folding equity. Then he had 2 pairs. On table 4 we pick up the wrap. The idea was to check raise. But yeah, should have just c-bet. I remember that I called pre-flop. But works this way. Let's make an isolation 3-bet. Table 1 we actually flop pretty much the nuts. And let's just barrel. And he folds. And here we pick up overpair and flush draw. I'm going to bet it versus this calling station. Just for value, but he folds. And here I'm going to make a half pot even. I block 8. And I don't think anyone is going crazy here. He might raise me as a bluff. He's the only one. But no one is going to raise me without a 3 or pocket 8s. And I'm going to 3-bet. I block aces a lot. And he's such a tight that on this board he shouldn't hit those often. Because he might have some rundown or 2 pairs. But they have such many Broadway cards that all those medium and low flops, they are just going to fold. And here darkens donks really big. I'm just going to fold. He donks, but it's only 12%. So it's mostly because he has a hand of some kind. Table 3, I'm putting to isolate the only target player on the table, and we have 15 cents as additional value. And half a pot c-bet versus this guy is definitely enough. And when he calls, he's not going anywhere, so we check back and hope to hit 2 pairs or trips on the river. And we do, which is nice. Can we bet for value? I think we can get a thin value from ace. Oh, he had ace king. He would have called us with ace. Oh, that sucks. I'm just going to open because these guys are folding so much. And I want to play versus this one. And then we can just 3-bet. Wow, we are in position with king 9-4. Not good enough. If I didn't have the ace in my hand, I would call. I think it's time to start the last orbit and then see where do we end up in the session. I have no idea. We might be slightly profitable, we might be losing a lot. I'm going to try to steal the river because no one bets. No one should have king. We actually have the 9, but people should fold a lot. Table 3, we have the pocket queens. We probably get action from this guy. Not sure what he's thinking. Oh, wow. Nid is playing a lot of tables. No wonder he's thinking. He calls and we hit the jackpot on the turn. I'm just going to put it. His calling station anyway. Here we pick up gut shot on the turn. I'm just going to give him pressure. And if he goes a turn with 2 pairs, he's not going to fold it on the river. And he had ace 10, so he's just making a call down. So let me see where we end up today. Oh. Well, the session went pretty well despite the 20 minutes of doom we had there in the middle. Here's the graph for today. So here the 150 BP pot where the opponent closed the flop with air and hit the smallest full house possible and overplayed it a ton. And I think I made a correct read that it doesn't really make sense how he played if he had the 9-8 and he shouldn't be potting anything else but 9-8 on the river. So it doesn't make sense. So I call and he just had the full house. And here we lost some flips too. So first it went well and then kaboom. Minus 4.5 buy-ins, almost 5 buy-ins. And then just steadily climbing up. Sucks. So in terms of numbers, it's minus 2.5 buy-ins. It happens, but it kind of sucks that pretty much most of the sessions this spring has ended up in losses. Despite some of them EV going up. But we're going to have at 3rd of June. I'm not really sure about the coachings in June. Are we hosting every Wednesday or just 2 Wednesdays? So please check the forums for more information about the summer coachings. And if you are not a member of PokerEyeMania, if you are watching this on YouTube, just come to PokerEyeMania.com and register and join us. We have pretty good community over here. My name was Kyyberi and this was PokerEyeMania.com's totally free PLO coaching. And now have a good night and see you on the next coachings, which will be held at some point. Check the forums. Now, thank you, bye bye, and have a safe night.